and today Doug McKee and I are going to show you an amazing way to teach or present using the iPad Pro. This is the room in which Doug and I taught applied econometrics in this past spring. The setup is actually very simple. I will show you the setup for a Windows machine, and in a few minutes Doug will show you how to do the same setup for an Apple Mac. First, I'm going to get my laptop and have it set up, because it will be cooperating with a projector. While it's booting up, I can get my iPad Pro and my Apple Pencil. Now that the laptop is up and running, I just plug in an HDMI cable and it appears my desktop is now on screen. Depending on whether you have a simple or complicated Wi-Fi at your institution, setup might vary. I'm running a piece of software called AirServer, which allows me to connect the iPad wirelessly to my computer and display what's on the screen on the iPad on my desktop. Depending on whether you have a complicated or a simple Wi-Fi at your institution, there's two ways which you can connect the iPad. In the first case, you should be able to open your iPad and check for devices for screen mirroring, and they should appear right here. Most institutions, however, have fairly complicated Wi-Fi systems, so we need to take an extra step. Thankfully, there's this app called AirServer Connect, which helps me pair up the iPad with the computer. To begin with, I run the AirServer on my laptop. In this case, this is the version for Windows. I tell the AirServer to display a QR code. This will help me to pair up the devices. Now on my iPad, I tap the AirServer Connect, which walks me through the steps. In reality, it just says scan the QR code, which brings up the camera, and I will rotate it to the QR code we brought up on the laptop. You will hear the ding, and it tells you that you are all set. Flip through. Now you go straight to screen mirroring, and you will see that my device has appeared on the list of devices. Tap it, and now it's mirroring the data. I go to my laptop, I close the QR code, I can close the AirServer, and I can tell the software to go full screen. Now, we go to our presentation slides, or our lecture slides. You can use any software to display your slides, but Doug and I use GoodNotes because we like how it allows us to annotate the slides and highlight pieces of slides. As soon as I brought up the software and selected the slides for the given lecture, they're now up on screen. But that is not the best part. That you could do just with a laptop. But now, I can walk around and I can flip the slides back and forth. And even further, I can annotate the slides from any place in the room. So we are now in business.
I'm Doug, and I'm going to show you how to do exactly the same thing with a full Apple setup. So I've got my bag right here, and inside I've got my Apple Pencil, and I've got my MacBook Pro and iPad Pro. So I'm going to pull those out, and just like George did as a first step, I'm just going to turn on the laptop. Next thing I'm going to do is plug in the HDMI connector, and that should just automatically mirror my screen to the projector. And the next thing I'm going to do is bring up AirServer. I'm going to say show QR code, just like George did. And there's my QR code. I'm going to bring up my iPad. I'm going to start it up, and I'm going to go to Connect, AirServer Connect app. And I'm going to press that same scan QR code button. I come over here, and it shows me that everything's all set. I swipe up. I choose the new AirServer Connect server. And sure enough, everything is now mirrored. Full screen. I go over, I start up GoodNotes. I go over to our spring class. I bring up the slides, close that QR button, and we're in business. Okay? From the iPad side, whether we've got a PC plugged into the projector or a Mac plugged into the projector, the experience as a presenter is exactly the same. I've got the iPad app that I like, I've got my Apple Pencil, and anywhere in the room, I can just write and swipe my slides, okay, back and forth, and I can write. In fact, even if you don't have a laptop or you don't want to use a laptop, I know people that will plug in an Apple TV directly right into the projector, and that lightens your load even more. But here we are, we're in the room, walk anywhere in the room. We are in